When you think about Greek life, what comes to mind? Do you think of the depictions seen in film today, such as Neighbors?
Oh yeah, magic mushroom!
I was doing mushrooms since before the fucking internet existed.
Or maybe Old School?
In this corner, weighing in at 110 pounds and pushing 89 years of age.
Ring the bell, you pansy.
I know before arriving at Tech, my very limited knowledge of Greek life came down to the simple deduction of just one word: toxic. But is this the truth? Fraternities and sororities are a huge part of the social culture at Texas Tech University. But beneath the surface, a lot of students wonder, is TTU's Greek life toxic? That's the question I wanted to explore. Honestly, fairly, and with an open mind. Now, before I arrived at Texas Tech University, I originally pictured the worst parts of Greek life to be kept behind closed doors, like some sort of underground society, unspoken of by everyday people. Hazing, abuse, and discrimination are just some of the things I thought to be hidden behind closed doors. But if I thought this about Greek life with my very limited knowledge, what were others' thoughts? Here are some thoughts from individuals who are not currently a part of Greek life.
I didn't know much except from just the stereotypes, it's always the same guys, douchey, party a lot, and all that stuff. And then when I came here, I met a bunch of people in Greek life, and everyone's normal. I mean, everyone's a person.
Yeah, I sort of thought the same thing. I knew a little bit more about sororities because my sister's in one, but not much. So
I actually should say there are douchey guys. It's plenty actually. I think it's pretty cool. They actually offer after talking to some Fiji members, they have different programs. I think they have an apprenticeship program for your my major's marketing, so they'll get someone who was a Fiji to help me find a job and help me place myself into a career. Just because I joined the fraternity.
yeah, I haven't had a whole lot of experience with it. I've mostly just met people. Most of them were pretty cool. There have been a few people that were kind of douchey, kind of not cool.
I don't think it would be toxic. I didn't have any kind of toxic imagery in my head even before coming to Texas Tech.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really think a whole lot about it, but I didn't think it'd be that bad. I mean, it isn't that bad. So.
Yeah, it's not even bad.
Yeah.
To get a full picture, I didn't want to just stop at that. I dug deeper, asking those who are part of Greek life. How do students actually feel about their time in Greek life? Would they recommend it to a friend or a stranger? Are students ever excluded or targeted based on race, gender, sexual orientation, or just not fitting a certain image? Has Greek life made college life more stressful? And importantly, have students witnessed any forms of physical abuse or mental abuse? I also left space for students to share anything else they felt the rest of us should know.
They do check your Instagram, check your TikTok, they don't want to see any provocative, alcohol, drug use, anything like that, you're flaunting that on Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, anything like that. They don't want to see that. So I do think that you do have to maintain that and keep up with that, as well as for certain events, they do hold you to a higher standard of dressing and making sure your hair and makeup is done. So I do feel yes, sometimes you do have to kind of get out of your comfort zone and try to put on the pretty face or whatever, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think it helps. I do think that for some girls it's just not their thing. I know one girl did drop our sorority last semester just because she didn't like being told what to do. Some people are just stubborn like that and they don't want to run their lives based off of other people, and if you're that way then that's fine. But I do think that it does help you in the long run, just because for me, at least an example is I'm going into medical field. I don't need hospitals seeing me posting me taking shots or alcohol use or drug use or content like that on my pages. So I think that just being held responsible that way It definitely adds a sense of busyness and like especially for fundraising that can be a little stressful just because you know you have to sell a certain amount of tickets and you might have to talk to random strangers or post on like I posted like on the Lubbock community page on Facebook and that can be a little stressful or just maybe like antsy like kind of weird or awkward, but for the most part it's not stressful. It's just maintaining a healthy routine and schedule. Not my sorority. My sorority's nationals is actually very strict on like hazing, abuse, discrimination.
Okay.
One of my sororities, I feel like for the Panhellenic page at least, is one of the most like diverse sororities. We have like cameras like in our house just to make sure that like hazing isn't allowed or anything like that. So that's just my sorority though. It's very, if you do haze, it's very, very hush hush, I would
Okay.
say. So I
Wow.
don't know about other houses at school. And like there's a Greek family, so you know I have like a big and she's always there for me. I have a step big who literally I adore so much. There's just so many people that like will help you and like take care of you in the long run that are like there for you. I would just say like the biggest advice is like you don't have to do anything. Like if you know like you don't feel like in your head like watching the movie Neighbors or anything like that. At least for sorority, frat life is different, but for sororities at least like you know you don't have to get drunk, you don't have to be high or do drugs or anything like that to be in the sorority. Just be yourself and have fun.
I didn't want to just stop there. I wanted more voices. Surely not everyone's had nothing but positive experiences, right? So I created an anonymous survey and posted it across social media spaces TTU students use every day. I also reached out to a few students for deeper personal conversations. I used simple tools, Google Forms for the survey, and a little bit of social interaction to piece this project together. But those simple choices allowed for something bigger. And that's honesty. To my surprise, the overwhelmingly positive response was 100% of those involved with Greek life enjoyed their experiences. This trend, however, continues to repeat. Were my views purely ignorance on my part? Continuing to view the poll results, we'll see. 100% would recommend a friend or a stranger to join. 0% having experienced discrimination of any kind. Now this is where things really begin to get interesting and a bit more diverse in experience. 37.5% of responses state they felt like they had to present a certain image of themselves. But what's interesting about this statistic is all 37.5% of participants who said they felt as if they had to present a certain image of themselves didn't mean it in a bad way, but instead had a positive outlook on it, raising them to a higher standard. One anonymous reads, "It's a positive in some light. New members came in wearing clothes that didn't match or had haircuts that didn't suit them, but within a month, they had a much cleaner presence." Another saying, "My sorority keeps me on track. The girls motivate me to present myself as the respectful, professional, and powerful woman I am." I was beginning to believe every negative thought I had on Greek life was purely ignorant. Continuing with the next question though, has Greek life added any additional stress to your college life? 31.3% saying Greek life has added stress to their college experience, also giving statements that aren't overtly negative. One comment saying, "Pledging in executive positions are a big time commitment, so you need to balance everything at once, including school. Most don't." Another stating, "Just a deeper sense of responsibility." Now this next statistic surprised me because it had an outlier. Have you witnessed physical or mental abuse in your Greek org? With one person saying they witnessed physical or mental abuse in their organization, but not leaving a statement. I'll come back to this later. Lastly, has your experience been overall positive or negative? An outstanding 100% are participants saying their experience has been overall positive. When given a choice to share personal stories or say anything they might want to add to help aid my research, I only received 2 replies. One being, a great way to meet people and get involved on campus. Another one saying, try looking at how many do drugs. You don't really see it until you're in the middle, especially how many sorority girls you never expect to do crazy drugs. But was this really surprising? Money found in bank. I became curious. Was this experience universal for every college campus, or is Texas Tech University an outlier? So I did some digging. I found an article by the Berkeley Beacon, a student newspaper of Emerson College founded in 1947 and written by Shannon Garrido, an editor-in-chief at the Berkeley Beacon, majoring in journalism at Emerson College. At Penn State, a student named Tim Baeza died in 2017 after having a hazing ritual known as the Gauntlet, where he was forced to consume a lethal amount of alcohol. These aren't isolated incidents. They're part of a troubling trend. According to journalist Hank Newer, there have been 33 fraternity-related hazing deaths in the past decade. The Berkeley Beacon points out that these rituals often involve degrading tasks, sleep deprivation, and dangerous levels of alcohol consumption, all under a guy. Fuck. Okay, wait. How do I say this?
Guys.
All under the guise of a building brotherhood. What's more concerning is how these organizations, despite their histories of misconduct, continue to thrive. The same article highlights that a significant number of leaders in politics and business were fraternity members, suggesting that the influence of Greek life extends far beyond college campuses. So while my findings at TTU showed a majority of positive experiences, it's clear that the darker aspects of Greek life are not as common as originally believed. Going into this project, I'll admit, I thought I was going to uncover mostly negative stories. I thought I'd find secretive, underground behaviors, things people were scared to talk about. But the truth turned out to be a lot more hopeful. Rhetorically, I didn't want to attack Greek life. I wanted to listen. My goal was to create a space where students feel comfortable telling the truth. Whatever that truth looked like, whether it was positive, negative, or something in between. Many students shared positive experiences, friendships, leadership opportunities, a real sense of belonging. It taught me something important. When you go in expecting to listen, not to prove yourself right, you find a much more honest story. One of the biggest risks I took was asking an open-ended, vulnerable question. I had to be okay with finding answers I didn't expect, but that risk made my project stronger. It helped me create something that felt fair, layered, and truly representative of TTU's Greek community. Listening without judgment led to a deeper, more human understanding of what Greek life actually looks like for the students living it. I just want to give a special thanks to some of the students who participated in the survey, and also my friends, Dylan Sharkey, my friend David Lodicki, and of course, Sharkey's girlfriend. They really helped a lot with this project, and thank you guys.